All right, and welcome to another episode of Gold Rush here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Rebin coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my tag team partner, Jabari Sinclair. And the trigger finger wasn't great on the opening. I hit the wrong thing there for a couple seconds before we kicked into the intro. So, it's been a long week. And, and Minders is already there to annoy us.
Well, hello to you too, dear.
Now, she's a WWE girl, so she might have some input on our topic today, Bari.
Definitely.
And and I believe I see it sitting over your right shoulder there on the couch behind you.
Yeah, yes, it is. This
That is our
this will be the topic of the day.
yes, the U.S. Championship. Now, you said that you got that as a gift, Mari. You didn't buy this one
Yes,
yourself.
I did not. I did not. And if it was my choice, I wouldn't have it. But there again, like I said, it was a gift, so I'm going to keep it and cherish it. But yes, here it is in
Right,
all
right,
its glory.
of course. Yeah, yeah, that I I think I said it when you suggested this as our topic on the last episode. I was not a fan of this belt when it was introduced. I liked the WCW version that they retired in
Exactly.
'01, and I hope they were bringing that
Exactly.
back.
And I guess they tried to copy it in their own WWE way, but they didn't quite accomplish the mission,
Right.
if you will.
Well, also that WCW belt was a Reggie Parks design, and they weren't working with Reggie by '03. So
Exactly.
yeah. AJ has an unpopular opinion. I like the current design for the U.S. title more than I like the one Bari is holding. I actually agree. I really like this new version that they got.
Me too. Me too.
Uh, so like I said, Reggie Parks did not design this U.S. title. It was done by Dave Milliken. He's kind of Reggie's heir apparent. You know,
Hmm.
he's kind of taken up the King of Belts mantle that Reggie had for all those years, and
And rightfully so. Right. He does
right,
good work.
right, he does great work. Yeah, uh, but yeah, you had the hold that belt up again for me, Barry, so we can get a look at it and kind of describe what we're seeing here. They put the flag across the entire main plate, which I
Hmm.
think that's what got me. And I'm all for the American flag. You know, I like to think myself a patriot, but I like it when it wasn't quite as prominent. You know what I mean? On the plate,
Exactly.
I like to see a little more gold on the main plate
Yeah.
than just the red, white, and blue.
Exactly.
Uh, uh, let's take a look at the side plates, Barry, if we can. All right, so we got the let me up a little more. There we go. So we got the Statue of Liberty on the smaller one, and I'm trying to get a look at the. Is that an? I'm trying to place what that design is. My eyes aren't very good when I'm looking at
Let
this
me
thing.
right. Let me get a good look at it. It is. I'm not really sure what it's an eagle, but it's like an eagle threw up.
Like an eagle through. Okay, I'm sure that's not the what Dave Milliken was going for when he designed
Yeah.
that plate. But
Exactly. But yeah, it's an eagle side plate.
okay, so
Yeah.
they kept it pretty simple as far as that. They have the nameplate on the main plate at the bottom, and then nothing, not a lot of fancy ornate business on the belt, like where you look like the big gold or like we were talking about the WCW TV title last episode.
Exactly.
So there we go. It was debuted, and I got a few facts here. Debuted on July 27th, 2003 at the Vengeance pay-per-view in Denver, Colorado. The first one to hold that title was Eddie Guerrero, and he won a tournament,
Yep.
Bari, and I actually had the tournament in front of me with the participants.
All right.
Uh, Started off, it was a 8-man tournament on SmackDown, obviously, because it was a SmackDown
Mhm.
belt. Uh, Chris Benoit beat Rhino in the first round. Matt Hardy beat Rikishi. Billy Gunn beat John Cena, which that's a weird sentence to say considering where those two guys are at in the business these days.
Exactly.
Then Eddie Guerrero beat Ultimo Dragon, and I didn't get UPN in 2003, so I didn't see this match. I wish I would have seen this Eddie Ultimo match. I need to go back and
Neither
find it.
neither did I, and so I was forced to be a Raw fan because yeah, like you said, I didn't get UPN. You know,
Hmm.
and SmackDown was actually a better product than Raw at the time.
Oh yeah, I know they always say that Raw's the flagship, but for the most part, SmackDown has usually been a better show as far as like in ring, and I think a lot of that has to do with its 2 hours instead of three. I think that's why I
Exactly.
like it better.
Yeah.
See, in the semifinals, Benoit beat Hardy, and then Billy beat Eddie. Or no, I'm sorry, Eddie beat Billy. I misread which one was bold and which one wasn't. Like I said, my eyes are shit today. Then and then yeah, in the finals at Vengeance is when Eddie beat Benoit with the assist from Rhino to win the belt.
Yeah.
The last man to hold the belt was Apollo Crews in 2020 before they debuted the new design. And yes, we know, Minders, you have your feelings about Billy Gunn. Bam!
About
Yeah,
right. About 8,000 feelings, as a matter of fact. But
uh-huh.
that's neither here nor there.
I want to make a T-shirt with her opinions on Billy Gunn and Adam Cole by extension, but it depends on if she lets me.
Hmm.
Let's see, most reigns with this belt is John Cena had 5, so he has the record there. Longest reign goes to Dean Ambrose, 351 days. The
Ah,
current John Moxley didn't defend the belt a lot though. He was doing a lot of Shield business back then, so.
yeah, he was. Yeah, it was like a three-man business.
Mhm. The shortest reign is a four-way tie, 2 days. Kalisto, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ah, that whole time.
Yeah. Then most combined days as champion with this belt is MVP, 414 days as recognized by WWE, and that's over 2 reigns. So that's pretty impressive,
Yeah, that
considering
is.
all time. I think for the championship, I think the all-time record is Luger with like 950 days. I think overall between his 5 runs. Uh, let's get into where are we at here? Do I have? Oh yeah, I'll throw this up here. Might as well show a little bit while we're at it. Uh, so let's get into the championship lineage here, Bari, because we got a lot of names to talk about.
Yes, we do.
I just to show how much I was into doing this episode. I did the prep for most of this right after we went off the air last time. After
Yeah, I
I
know.
just
Yeah.
went through and grabbed, I just dug it up, and 45 different people held this belt, Bari, from 2003 to 2020, and obviously, first one we talked about Eddie Guerrero, uh, slightly post mullet, kind of in that in between heel run when Chavo was hurt and Los Guerreros was
Yep.
on the shelf for a bit.
Uh-huh.
And then
And he was showing us
never forget.
what he can do with his singles run.
Yes, I think a lot of people forgot just how good Eddie was when he was doing the tag team with Chavo until he got
Yeah.
back into the singles and was doing his own thing. And
I
you
would
know
agree
me,
with that.
Eddie's one of my top 3.
Yes.
So
Yes,
yeah,
he
I've
is.
always been a fan. How did you feel about him doing the lowrider gimmick in '03 when he first started doing that?
I thought it was neat. It was something different. And it's culturally appropriate. So why
Yeah,
not bang it off?
but
And
not not overly exaggerated though.
exactly. It wasn't like the Mexicals with the damn lawnmowers.
Oh,
So
oh, that was so bad. That
so
was so
bad, so
bad.
bad, so bad. So
Jeez.
no, like, and I mean, he had some cool looking lowriders. Shit.
Yeah, and I guess they got those whatever town they were in. They just found like a collector, and he would let them borrow a car. And let's see, Eddie. Let's see, holds it in July. Let me get my list here of belts because I want to make sure I don't lose my other tournament because we got one coming up about 14 years from now. Uh, also want to point out the championship history of the U.S. Championship from its inception in the NWA in '75 got absorbed into this belt. So Eddie is like technically the 97th champion
Right.
of the United States Championship, but yeah, he got the belt in July of '03. He drops it to the Big Show, and
Big Show. Yeah.
we could have some opinions about the build up to this match. Bar Eddie and Big Show, the the septic truck incident when he sprayed
Exactly. You
Big
can
Show down with
the condiments, the contents.
the the content. Yeah,
I well, to me, you can look at this rivalry one or two ways. It was either like really good comedy wise, or just like, oh my god, let's get this over with for both of them. We know Big Show's gonna win, so let's just get this
right.
over with for both and move on with this.
Yeah, because remember Eddie
And
was a double champion
yes,
when
he
he was
was,
feuding
he
with Big
was.
Show
And my
because he
goodness,
probably
did
had the
that damn
titles.
belt. And then my goodness, did that belt look like a damn toy strapped across Big Show? They could at
It
least
looked
give him a
like
bigger championship.
we could have gone to Toys R Us and got one of those little kids replicas, and that's what it looked like when Big Show
Yeah,
held that. I mean, look at that.
look at that exactly.
That thing wasn't
At
going to
least
fit
give the
around
man
his waist. Give him
right.
a
Give
belt
that man a
extender.
big, give him a bigger belt.
Well, Bobby Heenan tried to make Jack Tunney make a giant belt for Andre when he was feuding with Hogan,
Yeah, thus we have
the
the
Andre
Andre.
87.
Yeah, we have the Andre 87 floating around today right now.
I wish they would have just run with that belt because that belt's so cool looking.
Yes, it is. And it's massive.
Yeah, that's another episode. Sometime like I said, we'll do like specialty belts on an episode one of these days.
Yes,
But
definitely.
so Big Show wins the belt at No Mercy in Baltimore on October 19th of 2003. He drops it at WrestleMania 20 on March 14th, 04 to John Cena in his first big run. And see, there's a side note here. WWE's official title history incorrectly lists Cena's reign as lasting 136 days, ending on July 29th of 04. The match description for Booker T's title win states that Cena was stripped of the title a few weeks prior to the July 19th episode. So Cena had a few months with the belt, and then if I remember right, he attacked Angle when Angle was the general manager. So Kurt stripped him of the title,
Yeah, yeah, that's fab. Yeah,
and they booked I think it was an eight. It was an 8-way elimination match on SmackDown. And here's your participants here. It's Cena, Rene Dupree, Kenzo Suzuki. Wow, I haven't thought of that guy in a while. Rob Van Dam, Billy Gunn, Charlie Haas, Luther Reigns, and the man that won the title, Booker T. There he is right there. Booker. Yes. Oh boy, I love Booker. And this is when Booker was doing the SmackDown as the minor league gimmick when he got drafted to SmackDown. He was working heel. Uh, well, yeah, we know how Mindy feels about multi-man bullshit, Bari. Overbooked fuckery, as we like
overbooked.
to say. Let's see. Booker holds the title. He has a pretty good run with it. He holds it from July until No Mercy in October. He and Cena had the best of 5 series of the house shows and on SmackDowns. And then at No Mercy, Cena won, and yeah, he won the deciding 5th match at No Mercy, and then he held the title for all of shoot, what was it? They taped on Tuesday, so 2 days basically before he came across the Caribbean juggernaut Carlito. Here we see him. First night in the company, and he won the U.S. Championship. Of course, shenanigans, because Carlito's a dirty heel.
Yes.
But I was shocked by that. They don't shock me often with title changes in WWE, but
Right.
the fact that Carlito and of course big star in Puerto Rico, who's wrestling royalty in Puerto Rico, Carlos Colon's son, but not a lot of fans I think were really aware of Carlito when he debuted in the
Exactly.
WWE.
Exactly. So it was almost like this is a brand new guy. He comes
Yeah,
in his first night. He
yeah,
beats Cena. Oh,
yeah,
he might be something.
yeah. And yeah, he looked really young. Going back, I watched the match where he beat Cena today, and yeah, compared to how he looks now, he looks very, very young in 2004. Yeah, look at that guy. It's
It's a baby.
just a baby. Yeah, I don't know how old he was. I didn't do that much research. Uh, but he had a pretty long run. He had a well, about a month. What was it? 2 months, I want to say. Let me look. October 5th to November 16th, so about 6 weeks.
Mhm.
He lost the title on another SmackDown. I think this is the one after Survivor Series, and Cena won it back. Uh, and I think this is when Carlito got hurt because remember he was running around with his arm in a sling for
Yeah.
a little bit after that.
Right. And he had Jesus doing his dirty work.
Yes, Jesus stabbed Cena in the nightclub after Carlito won the title from him. Conveniently, no footage of that incident.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So Cena wins the belt back from Carlito, and then that's when he debuted that Spinner Championship. The
Oh,
Man, that thing was ugly.
oh God.
I was not a
Any
fan.
any of his custom championships are just bowling shoot damn ugly.
I'll say this: the WWE Championship was nicer than the U.S. one. The U.S. one looked looked like the spinner on a wheel on a strap.
Right, like a wall clock.
It kind of did. Uh, so Cena is defending with the Spinner Championship. Then he loses the title to Orlando Jordan. There's a blast from the past.
Yeah, yeah.
And with an assist from Bradshaw, who was at the time the WWE champion. And AJ, I was not warned ahead of time. Don't get Barry started on belts. I have a spinner on him. Although that did make for a very funny moment with Rob Van Dam on the first DCW episode.
Yeah.
This one
And
spins.
look,
And
what
just
spins?
oh, Orlando had 5 months with this belt. I forgot how long he held this title for. He had it for 173 days,
Yeah.
and then he pissed somebody off. That somebody being one Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit. SummerSlam '05, Bar. Do you remember this match?
28 seconds.
I swear that Orlando got snug. I think he got a clean shot in, and then because you saw the switch flip in Benoit
Yeah,
with the like two chops of German, then just sank in that crossface and tapped him out.
exactly.
And I can't say that Benoit was shooting, but I got that when I saw that match live. I thought, oh shit, he pissed him off.
28 seconds.
Uh-huh. He
Something
Frank
happened.
Gotched him.
Yeah, something happened somewhere for it to be 28 seconds long.
Hmm Uh, then I believe, let me look here. I want to double check. So that was August 21st of '05. He holds it until October 18th on SmackDown, although WWE recognizes that reign ending on October 21st. So I guess because it was the taping for SmackDown. Uh, and Benoit dropped the title to Booker T. Back to him again, and this is when he had Charmel with him when they were doing the heel business.
Uh,
Uh, there's I'm just gonna spoil one of the matches on my favorite matches list happens in Sheffield, England on November 22nd of '05, and that's when Booker and Benoit had the double pin and the belt got held up. Barry, remember that?
okay, yeah, and
I,
this one started the best of 7 with them
it
again,
was the
right?
best of seven, yeah, and because I think it ended with a superplex and then all four shoulders were down when the referee counted. So of course they got to if they have Booker and Benoit in the same company, they got to do a best of seven, right?
Right.
I will say this: I didn't like this one as much as the WCW one because it seemed like this was forced almost. Uh,
Well, the
number
original is always going to be better.
Well, yeah, but also uh, Booker won the first three matches and then he got hurt.
Then he got
S-
hurt, yeah.
So Randy Orton was his substitute for the rest of the series, and he lost the next three matches, and then he won the match number 7 to beat Benoit, which gave Booker the belt. Which, when I was watching this, I thought that was going to lead to an Orton heel turn or babyface turn because then he's got a beef with Booker. Hey, I won the belt for you. I should get a shot.
Exactly.
I mean, that is fuckery I can get behind. All right, well, oh my goodness. So let me get my list here. So Booker
It's
has the
fuckery
belt again. What's that?
fuckery that makes sense.
Yes, sometimes it makes sense. So the Match number 7 was January 10th of '06 in Philadelphia. At the pay-per-view, No Way Out in February, Benoit beat Booker to get the belt back, and then he held it for about 2 months or so. WrestleMania 22, he would drop the title to one John Bradshaw Layfield. Uh, he really kind of embraced the idea of being the U.S. champion, didn't he?
Of course he did. It's morning again in America.
You know what? He's like, I know some people have shit to say about him being a bully backstage or whatever. I was entertained as hell by the JBL character after he left the APA
Yeah,
because it was different. It was like a if Larry the Cable Guy was Ted DiBiase,
exactly.
big toothy Texas tycoon guy. It's this good stuff.
Toothy.
Always had that shit-eating grin on his face, doing the two-step out of his limo.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
In
So yeah,
Dallas.
yes, yeah, he looked like J.R. Ewing in the
Yeah.
suit with the hat and everything. I think that's what they were going for. Uh, so Bradshaw wins the belt on April 2nd, 2006. Ironically, the day after my oldest niece was born. Just putting that out there. Uh, WWE recognizes Bradshaw's reign as ending on May 26th of '06 when the following episode aired on a tape delay on SmackDown. He had dropped the belt to one Almighty before he was Almighty. He was just
The Bob
Alrighty.
Lashley. Yes.
He was a stud when he broke in, when he came up, and they were ready to push him to the moon before he started getting hurt.
Jesus Christ, and the son of a bitch hasn't aged in 20 years.
What was that? Elevated liver enzymes when he
Yeah.
had to go on the shelf that first time.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hey,
Elevated.
yeah. Talk a little bit about Lashley while I reset my list.
Sure, yeah. Lashley came in and was a badass. I mean, like 6'5", 275, former Army kid. I come on now. Like, I thought he would have a longer reign as United States champion, but I guess they had other plans for him at the time. Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm back.
He was a transitional champion, but
Problem solved
yeah.
here. So, yeah. Thank you, Menders, for pointing that out for me. Yeah, I got a feeling he was going to get another run if his liver enzymes didn't elevate, and then
Exactly.
he got put on the shelf a little bit. Yeah,
Those
Menders
nasty
kind of
elevation.
agreed with you, Barry. Lashley hasn't aged at all.
Not in 20 years, he hadn't aged a bit.
Not a
And
day. Not,
right, and owns a damn ice cream franchise in Colorado.
does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's got several spots in Colorado. He has ice cream shops.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Imagine him rolling up in an ice cream truck.
Big worm, eat your heart out.
So anyway, so Lashley wins the belt in Bakersfield on SmackDown. He drops it on SmackDown on July 11th to one of my very favorite guys, Bari, and that's the Irish fighting machine Finlay.
Finlay.
Menders behave. What's in the ice cream?
Elevated enzymes. That's what's in the ice cream. That's why he tested positive.
Oh my goodness. That couldn't have had anything to do with recreational goodies, could it, Bari?
Well, no, that's more of a juice thing.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right. Look at that ugly bastard. See, that's a guy that don't mind getting punched in the face, Bari.
Exactly, because he's gonna punch you right back in the face.
That's right. And smile the whole time.
Yep.
All right. So Finlay has the belt for 49 days. And then he drops the belt on my birthday, Bari, August 29th, 2006, on SmackDown in a triple threat match with Lashley and the eventual champion, Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy. Yeah, I remember this match.
Kennedy!
Kennedy.
Sorry, I had to do it. again, kind of a transitional situation here because I mean he held the belt for over a month, but still, they they never fully strapped the rocket to Kennedy like I thought
Yeah,
they would.
it was like something about him they didn't trust.
Yeah, maybe I wonder if they thought he had an attitude because he always came off as a cocky asshole.
Yeah,
It wound up being his gimmick in TNA, by the way. But
exactly.
but yeah, so Kennedy drops the belt in October on SmackDown to Benoit for his fifth and final reign with the U.S. Championship, and it's also his longest. He would hold the belt for 222 days here and hold it through start of '07 and WrestleMania, and then at Judgment Day he would drop the belt in a 2 out of 3 falls match to Montel Vontavious Porter. Look at that guy. Look how
Better
young
know.
he is.
Okay, right. Babies.
Bender says he pissed off Orton. Pronouns, Benders. Who's he? Oh, Kennedy.
Oh yeah,
Kennedy.
yeah. That whole
Kennedy had a
thing.
rocket strapped to his back till Cena and Orton said they didn't like working with him. Then that was pretty much that. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I like our fact checkers, Bari. They're always on the ball.
They're always in the ball.
Uh, MVP. Let's see. He had the longest reign to date with this belt, 343 days, which for a fairly new talent, that's pretty impressive that they would put it on him for that long because he
Yes,
was
I
less than a year in the company. Uh,
yeah, he was.
yeah. Now
The
we
hottest
have to
free
go ahead.
No, I was saying he was the hottest free agent.
Yep, I remember that he negotiated his contract to make $1 more than Cena, if I remember right, when he was
Hmm.
negotiating with Teddy Long.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, we can't talk about MVP's title reign without talking about Matt Hardy. And uh, I didn't want to like it when it happened, when it was going on, because I thought it was kind of silly, but I was entertained by the stuff they were doing,
Same here.
and they and they kind of got the rub from a lot of big name talent, both wrestling and otherwise, because we were talking off air. They got Evander Holyfield on Saturday Night Main Event to box with Matt Hardy in this angle,
Exactly. And
and
if you're
then
right, if you
MVP's
can get the former world heavyweight boxing champion involved in your shit, you
mhm.
might have something going.
MVP walked into both Mania 23 and 24 with that belt. Yeah, he did. Uh, Now he was, I think he got Holyfield because he said he had a heart issue, which I think was a pretty clever tactic. Uh, I gotta say I kind of enjoyed the basketball him and Matt when they were playing one on one, or it was one on one or was a horse, I forget exactly, but
I think it was Horse.
that Hardy was beating him, and then Porter would always find ways to just screw him over and get one up on him.
God,
Uh,
everybody playing Horse, and then they had a pizza eating contest and
Beer drinking
beer.
contest with Steve Austin was involved in
Yeah,
that. Uh, at this time, they were also tag champs at the same time, so they were
yeah, they
doing
were.
the whole "can they coexist" angle
Yeah,
during this period. But eventually, on let me find the date, April 27th, 2008 at Backlash, Matt Hardy finally got the win on MVP. He had been hurt for a bit. After they lost the tag titles, he got put on the shelf with a knee injury. But then when
I
he
need.
came back, they just picked it right up, and he won the belt from MVP. Oh,
He had a knee injury
AJ.
and he had appendicitis.
Oh, now Benders. Nobody watching this is probably gonna know who Jordan Perry is because they're not 0-1 fans. But the chairman apparently beat Chris Masters in horse,
Nah,
and then AJ says, "Don't forget the arm wrestling." I completely forgot about the arm wrestling. I'll be honest.
same.
All right, so Hardy holds the belt for about 3 months, and at this point it was an ECW belt because Matt was on ECW. Uh,
That's right. Sure was.
uh-huh. Then in July he dropped the title to the gold standard Shelton Benjamin,
Ain't no stopping me now.
right? And then he got drafted back to SmackDown, so it became a SmackDown belt again. It wasn't ECW very long. Uh, I think. I mean, I know Shelton got a couple of IC title runs. He got this US title, tag title. I think he could have been very marketable and very good as a world champion when he
Yeah,
was there.
perhaps. Yeah. Even if it was just the ECW World Champion, he
Yeah,
could
that
have
would
did
be perfect.
something. Yeah.
He could have been
I,
their Taz. He's that legit wrestler that could beat just about anybody.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he only held, well, yeah, I'm taking it back. He had a long run. He had a 240-day reign with this. Again, I didn't get, well, I can only watch ECW when I could because uh, TV privileges were subject to the oldest in the house, and I was not that. Uh, but Shelton holds the title until SmackDown in Corpus Christi, Texas on March 17th, 09, and then he dropped it back to MVP for his second run. And then he took it to Raw, so it became a Raw title. Held it for 76 days, 72 recognized. And then he holds it for 2 months, and then he drops it to another first timer, one Kofi Kingston.
Oh, Kofi.
Uh, he had been an Intercontinental Champion previous to this, but this was another feather in Kofi's cap there. When he hadn't dropped the accent yet.
Not yet. Thank God he did.
Yes. Uh, Kofi holds it until October, and then on Raw he dropped it to picture. There he is, The Miz.
The Miz.
During I think to up until about a couple years ago, the best run of his career.
Yeah.
He finally kind of gotten over that stigma of being a prick backstage and getting pushed around by all the veterans and everything. And I think he was finally getting some respect on his name at this point
Yeah. Same.
because he was well, technically a triple champion. He had the U.S. title and both tag titles with the Big Show. So and he had a pretty long run, 224-day reign with the title until May 17th, 2010. No disqualifications, no countouts. I went back and I watched this match today, Bari. He dropped it to Bret Hart.
He dropped it to the Hitman.
Uh, again, a lot of the Hart Dynasty was involved. Natalia was involved. Jericho, uh, all kinds of just shenanigans in this match. They were
Exactly.
protecting the hell out of Bret in this match.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Uh, so the week after this, Bret would vacate the championship because he was the named the Raw general manager. Uh, not too long before he got obliterated by the Nexus and taken off TV altogether.
That whole thing.
But the night he vacated the championship, he made a match to determine a new champion between The Miz and Mender's favorite, Bari, R-Truth. There he is.
Look at him.
Yes.
Continue on. I'm gonna go fill my water cup up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this was Truth's first big singles title, aside from being the hardcore champion back in his first run in 2000. And it got kind of shuffled a bit. Let me find my. So Truth holds it for 21 days in 2010, and then he would drop it back to The Miz on June 14th on Raw in a fatal four-way match, which involved John Morrison and Zack Ryder. A couple more blasts from the past there. Uh, I hear that Zack Ryder's made something of himself on the Indies in the last couple of years or so. Uh, so then The Miz has another fairly substantial run with it, while also uh, this all was going on while the NXT was just getting launched on the Sci-Fi Channel. And of course, Miz was the
Ugh.
coach for Daniel Bryan as Bari comes back in here. Yeah, Nate Cardona,
Mid
we know.
Cardona.
Uh, we just brought him up. He was in the four-way match when the Miz won the belt back, Bari, from Truth. But while
Okay.
Miz, but during this whole period, is I was saying this is when the NXT project first launched, and Miz was coaching uh, Daniel Bryan, as he was called in
Brian.
WWE, Bryan Danielson, Byron Dragonson, whatever you want to call him. And They were
American
both,
Noodle.
but they were both rubbing each other the wrong way constantly. And finally, on September 19th of 2010, at Night of Champions, there you go, the American Dragon, which he wouldn't be called for another, what would you say,
15 years.
11 years?
Yeah, 11, 12 years. Yeah,
See, where we were talking about how Big Show, the belt looked tiny on him, it looks huge on Danielson.
exactly.
But he had a good run with the belt. Oh, AJ, that's not nice. If only Kane had yeeted that wheelchair just a little bit harder.
Oh,
That's not
AJ,
necessary. That's
how
not
we love,
necessary.
how we love you.
Oh my goodness. Um, so Brian holds the belt from September through March, which I didn't realize it was that long. It was 176 days. And then on Raw in St. Louis on March 14th, 2011, he lost the title to Sheamus.
Seamus, look at him.
Cenas, yes. Apparently, the stipulation was if Sheamus lost, he would have quit WWE. Then the title became exclusive to SmackDown following the draft. So for a lot of this period in 29, 2010, there was no brand extension. It was just going across all shows.
Hmm.
Let's see. Sheamus holds it until May. Extreme Rules, he drops it back to Kofi in a tables match. And then Kofi brought the belt back to Raw. And then on Raw on June 19th, it was Dolph Ziggler. There you go. And I
I don't.
misspoke. I actually misspoke, Bari. The brand extension was still going on. But after Ziggler won on August 29, 2011, my 30th birthday, the brand extension ended, allowing the U.S. champion to appear on both shows. So at this
Ah,
point's when the brand extension stopped.
got you.
And let's see. Dolph holds the title from June until December 18th, 2011, when much to the dismay of our friend AJ, Zack Ryder,
Woo
woo, woo,
woo
woo, you know it.
woo.
Uh, Man, I'll say this though, he did a hell of a job getting himself over at this point, Bari, with
Yeah,
the
he did.
YouTube channel.
In the
Uh,
Internet Championship.
yep, he got himself over when the office was really seemed like they had no interest in getting him over.
Very true. Very true.
It's, he was right up there with like Danielson in the Yes movement.
Yeah, I'm about to say, brother's definitely a self-made star, no matter what you feel about him.
Yep. Look at him now. He's the general manager of GCW. Ooh, excuse me.
Exactly.
And all right, I need a minute to organize here. See which one was because I had to do this in bits. I didn't. You couldn't fit all 45 in the thread at the same time, so I had to stop at number 22, which was Ryder, and now I got to reset my numbers here. But this goes to show how much of a hot potato this belt was, Bari. I mean,
Exactly.
I know it was 17 years of a run, but still 31. There we go.
You get a lot of 2 and 3 month reigns.
Yeah, and like we said, some 2 or 3 day reigns. So
Yeah, right. Right.
all right, now we are set here. So let's reset. So Cardona, I'm sorry, Zack Ryder has the belt, and then he drops it on Raw January 16th, 2012, to one All American Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
He just Bari, this was right on that one. Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
What did you think of Jack Swagger, Bari?
I personally enjoyed Jack Swagger. Where he lacked in charisma, he made up for in ring prowess. Um, I thought he was good. I thought maybe he was pushed a little early for his ECW championship run, but
Right.
that's neither here nor there. But I didn't have a problem with him, not at all.
No. Uh, he had a surprising run with that world title. I thought he held it longer than I thought he would have.
Yeah, me too. Hell of a cash in.
Yes, a great cash in. Thanks, Edge. All right. So Jack holds the belt for about 6 weeks, and Mender stopped distracting me with Jack Vaughn videos on Facebook. Uh, on March 5th on Raw in Boston, he dropped the title to Santino Marella.
Latino.
Hey, he says, you know what I thought about Swagger? Anyone but woo woo woo. Yeah, for those that don't recognize it, AJ is not a fan of Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, whatever you
At
want to
all.
call him.
At all.
No, no. Santino, let's see, held the belt for 167 days, which
Impressive.
is a bit of a surprise. It's a surprise. But then on August 19th, 2012, he would drop it to our man Antonio Cesaro, the Swiss Superman,
The Superman himself.
the Swiss Cyborg, as their T-shirt said a few years later. Uh, man, you know how I feel about Claudio in the ring. He's so
Yeah,
good, and
he is.
it sucks that this is where he peaked pretty much. I mean, the Bar was a great run also with Sheamus, all the tag titles and everything, but I expected him to do more with as a single, even if that meant being the NXT champion. I'm surprised they didn't go that route with him.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. He was right. He was always there in the upper mid card area level. He just never could take that next step.
Yeah. All right. He had a long run with this belt bar. He holds it for 239 days.
Wow.
He won it on the SummerSlam pre-show in Los Angeles, so that just shows where that title was in the opinions of Vince McMahon that it was on the pre-show.
Right.
But that's neither here nor
Exactly.
there. April 15th, 2013, Cesaro drops the title to Kofi again for his third time. He holds the belt for 34 days, and then he drops it to everybody's favorite plumber, Dean Ambrose,
When he
when
still had hair.
when he still had hair, no beard. He wasn't completely off his rocker. Uh,
Exactly.
and like I said, he has the longest reign with this belt, 351 days. From where did when did he won it at Extreme Rules in St. Louis, and then he held it through all of the through the Shield's heel run all the way up until after they turned babyface after WrestleMania 30.
Mhm.
And then on Raw on May 5th, the Authority put Ambrose in a 20-man battle royal to defend his championship. Shield barred from ringside, I remember. And then Sheamus won the battle royal, eliminating Ambrose last to win the match and the championship. So there you go. Back on Shamo, and let's see. Yeah, AJ. Yeah, we kind of alluded to that earlier. It defended it all 6 times. It's true.
Yeah.
Now wait, does a battle royal qualify as multi-man fuckery?
Uh, I guess
We
it
need a
all depends on
ruling.
how. Yeah, I guess it all depends on how you look at it. Because if it's a multi-man match like that for the championship, I'd say yeah, because it's going to be fuckery. If it's just a regular battle royal, then no.
The fact it was put together by the Authority to get the belt off of Moxley.
Exactly.
So Sheamus wins at May 5th on Raw. On November 3rd, 2014, to build up to Survivor Series. I remember this because it aired after Raw was over on a Monday night. Uh, Sheamus dropped the title to the Bulgarian brute, Rusev.
Alexander Rusev himself.
Minder says, Battle Royal, yes. Royal Rumble, no.
I'll allow it.
Come on. He wasn't a fighting champion like his teammate, the Tribal Chief. Uh,
Here we go. don't don't get him
no,
rolling, please. It's
no,
too
we're
late.
not going to get. Not till we do an episode on the Universal Championship. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. All right, so Rusev wins the belt on November 3rd, 2014. He would hold it for 146 days, which again, fairly young guy, but they were booking him like a monster at this
They
point.
were. They were, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Tony should have done the same when he came into AEW, but that wasn't in his plan, I guess.
Mickey Mouse T-shirts and video games, but that's neither here nor there.
Mickey Mouse booking, if you ask me.
Yeah, well,
See what I did there. All right, WrestleMania 31, Bari, in Santa Clara, California. He drops the title to John Cena. And then Cena had a. I enjoyed Cena's run in this period as the U.S. champion because he was putting young guys over
yeah, it
all the
was.
while. Even if he wasn't losing to him, he was making them all look great. Like, specifically, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stick out.
Oh yeah, I rather enjoy John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge.
Yes. And it also made for. If a heel beat him, then that made them bigger heels because they would come out and say, "We're not doing an open challenge anymore."
Hmm.
Uh, so Cena, after he beats Rusev, holds the title until August at SummerSlam, when an assist from Jon Stewart, of all people, led to Seth Rollins becoming a double champion.
Uh-huh. This
And
is when I really couldn't stand him.
what?
This is when I really couldn't stand him.
Oh, that was his job to be unstood.
Well, he did his job just fine.
Yeah, yeah. That was a winner take all match. Rollins was defending the world title, while Cena was defending the U.S. title. Uh, Rollins holds it till Night of Champions when he had to defend both titles in separate matches. He had to defend the world title against Sting, and then he would drop the U.S. title back to Cena after a 28-day reign. Then Cena would hold it for 35 days and then drop it to Alberto Del Rio
DR.
with 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 Uncle Dutch in his corner.
Good times. Good
Oh,
times.
Del Rio's kind of a polarizing figure in wrestling these days, wouldn't you say, Bari?
Yeah, yeah. He's definitely a very interesting talk.
Yeah, it's he still makes his rounds here. I think mostly in Mexico,
Mhm.
but every now and then he'll pop up in like MLW or someplace like that. So
Or high school gym, you know.
high school, yeah, I believe he was betrothed to Paige at one point, but that fell through because they're
Mhm.
both nuts.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
so now we have a bit of a hot potato, Bari. After Del Rio's 78 days with the U.S. champion on January 11th, 2016 on Raw, he drops the title to Kalisto. Oh,
Good job. Good
AJ,
job.
that is a very good point. He's only polarizing if you defend public domestic abuse in airports.
God.
I think that
Uh,
sums it up nicely.
all right. Entrapment, attempted murder, kidnapping. The list goes on.
Oh, oh my goodness. I haven't read the whole rap sheet, but yeah, it just sounds nuts. So
Kid
Kalisto
has.
holds. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, see, I misread something, Bari. Uh, Notes subject to change. I said that the shortest reign was 4 people at 2 days. I forgot Kalisto held the belt for one day in January before he dropped it back to Del Rio on SmackDown. And then Del Rio held it until the Rumble. Then Kalisto beat him again, and then he held it for the 2 days. No, I'm wrong. This Wikipedia is confusing. He held it. Del Rio holds it for 12 days, drops it to Kalisto, holds it for 119 days, then drops it back to Rusev.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a
That's
long
when
day.
that's when AJ and I seen Rusev bent his ass in half of the accolade.
Oh,
And
good lord. Oh my
yes,
god, I
God, he
remember that.
almost
I heard
he gave
crackles and pops and all kinds of shit there.
him.
Oh my goodness. While Rusev was champion, the brand extension came back in July, and it became a Raw championship. Rusev holds the title for 126 days, and then drops it to the big dog. Forgive me for calling him that again, Roman Reigns.
God, that whole time.
Because at this point they realize, oh, we got to make Roman a Grand Slam champion, so he's got to hold all these belts.
Exactly.
So he gets it here. Then later on, he would win the IC title. Uh, Roman has the belt for 106 days after winning the Clash of the Champions in Indianapolis. Then he lost a 2-on-1 handicap match on Raw in New Orleans in January of 17 to Kevin Owens and eventual champion Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Yep, I remember this shit.
Wiki is never wrong. Hey, it's that's one of our primary sources on this show, so I got to work with what I got. Uh, yeah, this is when they were doing the best friends stuff with Jericho and Owens.
You're the goat and I'm the donkey. Yeah, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, of course, we remember the Festival of Friendship, Bari, when KO basically tried to kill Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Uh, that led to WrestleMania 33. Uh, then
In
Jericho
a
would drop the
very
title.
watered down opener match.
What's that?
A very watered down opener match.
It wasn't even open. It was second. It was
Yeah,
the
okay,
second.
yeah.
But I think everybody agreed that they thought they should have main evented for the Universal Championship.
Yeah, they really should
Except
have.
at the previous pay-per-view, KO dropped the Universal title to Goldberg in their infinite
Mm.
wisdom. But
And
yeah, so
some more look at it.
Owens wins the U.S. title here at WrestleMania. They were still pretty high on Owens at this point. Yeah,
Was it
AJ,
like,
exactly. Should have been for the Universal title, but Goldberg.
yeah, bastard.
Oh, goodness. All right, so KO would drop the title back to Jericho at Payback later that month in San Jose, and then Jericho would drop the belt 2 days later back to Owens on SmackDown in Fresno.
Right. Now isn't this KO's Face of America run?
Yes, yes, it was.
God,
Classic.
man, never again shave. Oh,
Was this around the time, Barry, when he hit that pop-up power bomb on Mark Henry?
I think so.
That was impressive. That's
Yeah,
more impressive for Mark Henry that he could get
exactly.
up that high.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
well, the man, right? The man can slam dunk, so
that's true. You forget how good of a vertical he had. Let's see here. So Jericho drops it back to Owens May 2nd, July 7th at a live event. This is the first time we've said this on here, Bari, on this episode. At a house show, Owens would drop the title to AJ Styles. At I think this was this at the Garden? No, let's see. Yeah, it was at the Garden.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is during that good era of SmackDown, that real
yeah,
good era of SmackDown.
yes. Uh, so AJ holds the title for 16 days, drops the title back to Owens at Battleground in Philadelphia, and then 2 days later on SmackDown, Owens drops the title back to AJ in Richmond in a triple threat match, also involving Jericho. Then let's see. This is when AJ gets his long run. He holds from July to October at Hell in a Cell in Detroit, and he lost a triple threat match to Ty Dillinger, of all people, and Baron Corbin there, the Lone Wolf. AJ talking about Owens, his clean-shaven face taking up the whole entrance ramp, talking about being the face of America while being a whole Canadian. 10 out of 10, perfect run. I think that was my favorite Owens period. Was that 2015, 2016 period?
Yeah,
What did you think of Baron Corbin back then when he had the hair and he was the lone wolf? He
I
wasn't
was a
Constable.
fan. Right. I was a fan of that version of Baron Corbin, just like the rest of us.
Yes.
And I really hate that he didn't get to go a little further with it. But I believe after he got into it with John Cena and then lost the whole Money in the Bank thing, that it was
Kind of
over
killed
for
his
that.
push. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, he had a 70-day run with this belt though, Bari. That's pretty good.
that
Excuse
is.
me. Clash of the Champions on December 17th in Boston. He lost a triple threat match to Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and Ziggler won the title. And then something I found very puzzling, Bari, is the next SmackDown after that, Ziggler came out and just left the belt in the ring and vacated it.
Yeah, just left.
So, like we said, at this point, Daniel Bryan has a tournament on SmackDown, and actually the whole tournament was on SmackDown. They didn't build to a pay-per-view final here. But
Yep.
so let me run down this tournament for you here. First round on SmackDown, December 26th, January 2nd, January 9th are the dates on these matches here. Bobby Roode beat Corbin. Mojo Rawley beat Zack Ryder. Jinder Mahal beat Ty Dillinger, and Xavier Woods beat Aiden English. Not the stiffest field
No,
really. At the second semifinals on SmackDown on January 16th, Bobby Roode beat Mojo, and then Jinder beat Xavier, and then on the finals, the same show, Bobby Roode beat Jinder Mahal to win the championship, and there he is. Look at that
Gloria.
guy. If anybody screamed champion at this period on WWE, it was Bobby Roode.
Hmm.
Minder said Baron didn't get paid by the hour. No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
Nothing wrong. I don't hate it. All right, so let me get back to our list of champions here. Okay, here we go. So Bobby wins the title January 16th, 2018. Then on March 11th at Fastlane, he would drop the title to another guy who they realized had to win a Grand Slam, Randy Orton.
Randall Keith.
Randall Keith, and he holds it for about a month. He won the title at Fastlane in Columbus, Ohio, March 11th, and on April 8th, 2018, in WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, he lost in a fatal four-way match involving Bobby Roode and Rusev and eventual champion Jinder Mahal. There he is, the
Same man,
Maharaja himself.
right, the same man that beat him for the WWE Championship.
That's right. I don't remember them actually bringing that up, Bari. That could have been some pretty good storytelling. Look at that guy. Raj Desi, as he's known now. He's coming to
Yeah,
GCW.
well, all right. Yeah, he sure is.
Jinder, let's see, he has the belt. He gets drafted to Raw. I'm sorry. Let me see. The title became exclusive to Raw following the first night of the 2018 Superstar Shakeup. Remember that, Bari?
Yeah.
Hear the contempt in your voice. Uh, all right, so on night two of the Superstar Shakeup, Jinder would drop the title to Jeff Hardy, putting the belt back on Raw, or on SmackDown. I get my days mixed up. And yeah, so then Jeff Hardy gets his Grand Slam. He hadn't won a U.S. title yet. He doesn't know it. He was kind of out of it in that picture, but I'm not saying anything. Don't
Well,
want to get sued. Uh, Jeff holds the belt for 90 days. And then at Extreme Rules on July 15th, he would drop the title to Shinsuke Nakamura, his first major championship on the main roster. And he would hold the belt until December. On an episode of SmackDown, he would drop the belt back to Rusev.
Rusev. On
And
Rusev's
then
birthday.
on his birthday, it was Rusev Day.
Yeah.
Uh, Shin would win the belt back on the Royal Rumble kickoff show, January 27th, 2019, in Phoenix. And then he would drop it back to R-Truth, of all people, 2 days later on SmackDown in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I don't remember Truth holding it this long. He held the belt for 35 days. I thought it was like just a hiccup, but
Just a flash in the pan.
just a flash in the pan. But Truth would drop the title to Samoa Joe. There he is, in a fatal four-way match involving Rey Mysterio and Andrade. And following the 2019 Superstar Shakeup, then it became a Raw title again with Joe. And there's a part of me that likes when Joe holds those secondary championships, like when he was the pure champion in Ring of Honor, the X Division champion in TNA, and then it goes along with this here when he was the U.S. champion. Even when he was the TNT champion in AEW, I was entertained by it.
TNT/TV champion.
Yes, but I do wish they would have let him go a little bit farther. I mean, there was a feud with Roman right there.
Yeah, it was.
Who was the true Samoan Joe?
Yeah. Who's the true Samoan badass?
I believe that answers Jacob Fatu, sir.
Well, yes. I will not argue with you on that one.
No. All right, so Joe holds the title for 75 days. And then at Money in the Bank in Hartford on May 19th, Don't Tell Kane, He would drop the title to Rey Mysterio. Again, it looks huge on Rey.
Exactly.
There was controversy on this match, though, Bari, because apparently Joe's left shoulder wasn't down when the referee counted the pin,
Yep, I remember.
and Rey voluntarily relinquished the title back to Joe due to Mysterio suffering a legitimate shoulder injury and the controversial way in which he won the title of Money in the Bank, which was Joe's left shoulder not being down when the referee counted. So Joe got the belt back, and then he would drop it to Ricochet, who they're high on. Oh, AJ, you're not wrong. If only Jacob Fatu could have squared up with Joe in his prime. 100% agree. Uh, you can tell the office is high on Ricochet, which you wouldn't think they would be because they usually don't go for the smaller high flyer types.
Right.
But he's always right in the mix, whether it's NXT or when he was the Intercontinental Champion or the U.S. Champion. But at Stomping Grounds in Tacoma, Washington, Ricochet beat Joe, and that was I went back and I watched this match today. That was a damn good match. I don't know if you remember that one or not.
I do
Uh,
remember. As I recall, it was a damn good match.
Ricochet would hold the belt for 21 days and then drop it to AJ Styles at Extreme Rules. I think this is around the time that they started dressing Ricochet up like a superhero with the bodysuit,
Mm.
which was kind of ridiculous. Uh, then he would, at Extreme Rules, Ricochet drops the title to AJ again. And this was heel AJ with the OC. And AJ would hold the belt for 134 days before dropping it back to Rey Mysterio on November 25th on Raw. Then a month later, he would drop the belt to one of my favorite guys, even though his attitude isn't the best usually. Andrade. There you see him.
Andrade.
Andrade. Yeah. He won the belt at a house show again at the Garden. It was one of those.
It's the guard.
It's the day after Christmas Garden show. We were saying that's where Cody should have beat Roman,
Mm-hmm.
but they did it with
Yep.
the U.S. title a couple times apparently. I
Yep.
don't know. Look, did AJ do that on? No, AJ did it in July at the Garden, but this was night after Christmas at the Garden when Andrade won it. And then he would hold it for 151 days and drop it to Apollo Crews. There he is. And then
Nigerian
Apollo.
warrior.
Well, this is
Apollo
before he was
Crews.
the Nigerian Warrior. He was still a babyface here.
Okay.
He didn't do that till he won the IC title. But no,
That's right.
Cruz was the one that retired this belt in favor of the one that MVP debuted in 2020 that they're using today.
Yes.
But hey, we made it through the whole list before 7:30, Bari.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
So let's get into our other business here. We always like to talk about some other categories. So we'll start off with our notable feuds. I've got four of these in mind, Bari, and I'll, I see what you did there, AJ. Cruz can't lose. I think that actually was a sign, wasn't it, in the stands?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as far as notable feuds for me, I've got four, like I said. Booker and John Cena in '04. Benoit and Booker from '05 with the best of seven and everything. MVP and Matt Hardy, of course. We were talking about that quite a bit. And then The Miz and Daniel Bryan for 2010.
Okay. I'm just gonna add two more to that list. Carlito and Cena,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go with the best of seven.
Oh, Booker and Benoit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I thought I had that
Yeah.
on there.
Well, you did, but
I did. Well, but you're agreeing. I appreciate the agreement. I mean, it's really good. It's really good. So you got it.
and then Matt Hardy and MVP. It
Yeah.
was entertaining.
They did that feud did a lot to really get MVP's character over.
They did.
All right. So let's talk favorite matches here, and I do have five here. Uh, I've got this is one that you might remember, Bari. I wanted to put the Eddie Cena parking lot brawl on there, but then I realized it wasn't for a title. It was just a grudge match.
It's a good match, yeah.
But they did have a title match on SmackDown before that, and this is the match when Cena gave him the FU on the tire, like on the wheel, if you
Okay,
remember
yeah.
that. I really liked that feud too. That almost made my list if it would have gone a little bit longer. Cena and Eddie. Then I've got the match with Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton at Fastlane 2018, which we talked about a little
Okay.
bit. Sheamus versus Cesaro from Payback 2014. This is back when Cesaro was still with Heyman,
Yeah. Okay.
which I wish they would have stretched that out more.
Yeah, that could have got so much more life.
Oh, I know. Uh, let's see. I got Benoit versus Booker from SmackDown. This is the double pin when they held the title up in Sheffield, England. And then I gotta have an Eddie Benoit match on here, so I put the one from Vengeance when Eddie won the title in the tournament.
Okay. Not bad. I'm going to add that fatal four way from SummerSlam '03 that I was telling you about earlier with Eddie,
Yes,
Benoit, Tajiri, and Rhino.
yes. I love the spot in that match when Benoit had Rhino in the crossface and Eddie had Tajiri in the lasso from El Paso at the same time, and they were racing to get the tap out because the referee was checking off everybody. And you saw the panic on Eddie's face too. He was like looking back at
Right.
Benoit, freaking out. Eddie was so good with his facials, man.
So good. So good.
Yeah,
He was so crafty in that match.
very crafty. Yes. You got any more for your favorites, or did we
No,
cover?
that's it right there because you named off my other two. So
Oh, same brain, same brain. I'm telling you. All right, well, let's talk about our top five greatest champions to hold this belt here. And I really wanted to put Rusev on this list, but I couldn't find a spot for him. So he would be my number six. But my top five, I got in no particular order here. Booker T, Chris Benoit, John Cena, MVP, and then Eddie Guerrero, because you got to put the first on there.
of course. And I have everybody except I have one, and except that I have Rusev on my list as number
Okay.
five.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with it. I really liked his run when he was doing the Russian heel business.
Exactly. Couldn't be
Yes.
stopped.
No, could not. Not even by his buxom Russian bride.
Right.
I saw something weird. I was watching I forget what match it was, but Rusev came down. I think it was the Orton Rude match. And no, it was when Truth beat Nakamura. But Rusev came down with Lana, and Lana had her foot in a boot. I think she'd hurt her ankle, but her other shoe was one of those stiletto heels. But that seems like a bad idea to walk on a walking
Yeah.
boot on one foot and a heel in the other.
Exactly.
And I pointed that out to the wife, and she's like, "Yeah, she shouldn't do that."
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. So a lot of good memories with that belt, even though, like we said, it wasn't our favorite, but had some
I've
good
grown
good stuff.
over the years. I've grown to love it.
Yes. Uh, so I believe that means it's my turn to pick Bari for our next
Yeah,
episode.
it's your turn, brother.
I don't know how perceptive you are, but if you look over my right shoulder here, I think you can tell what I'm thinking.
I see a beauty sitting there, but
Yeah, you say beauty. I mean, by principle, yes. This honestly is not my favorite version of this that I have because the craftsmanship is not great on it. This is one I bought off eBay and I let the price dictate my choice instead of spending big money on a good version. But we're going to go with the fourth IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt. Uh, the last one before they made it a world title and unified it with the Intercontinental Championship. Uh, this is right up there with the big gold for me, Bari, as far as my favorites
Yeah, it's a
overall.
beaut.
It really is. Yeah. And it takes out my head with my Hitman glasses on it as I put it back on its pedestal. Let's do this here, but yeah, I think we got some legs on this one. It, enjoy the show here, folks, as I continue to navigate this beast here. Not as heavy as my All Japan belt, Bari, but it's got some heft to it for being a 2 millimeter.
Yeah,
I've kind of made a spectacle of myself. Yeah, this is one that I could see myself learning how to restore belts on because there's some issues on it on this version with the paint kind of going away a little bit. But we'll get into it more in a couple of weeks when we have our episode. But yeah, I think I'm kicking myself for not doing this belt already because you know me, I love New Japan Pro Wrestling, so yeah, you would think that
exactly. Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
done this.
Done this one by now, but hey, we're getting to it now, so
Yeah,
I'm looking
hey,
forward to this episode.
there's a lot of great belts out there, so I mean we can't get to all the good ones at once.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Bari, we thought we were gonna have a marathon. We got this done in just under an hour 15, which I'm
Yeah,
pretty proud of ourselves for this.
I am. Yeah, I'm impressed too.
Real quick, brainbustertees.com. You can get our two different Gold Rush t-shirts. We call them belts. Then you got 4 millimeter robust, and we'll have more designs coming. We got also all kinds of stuff for our other shows on our network, Jumping the Rail and the 01 Shootout. Ah, if you are in the Muhammad area on Tuesday, uh, join us at the Chop House on Main in Muhammad. The X Bombers, who were a guest on JTR, are premiering their music video "Forget the Experience," the Jim Cornette Experience podcast theme song, and uh, and we're gonna be there, kind of helping out a little bit, doing. I think we're gonna interview the band again. Just on top of that, plus they'll have wrestling trivia and cake, I hear.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you like wrestling trivia or cake or just good music, come check us out. Hang out at the Chop House with us. And then this coming Wednesday, we have CMC, Menders' idea, on with us talking about his show in Decatur on the 22nd. And then, yeah, then after that, stay tuned to the JTR Podcast Network Facebook page or Jumping the Rail or 01 Shootout, whichever one you choose. And yeah, in 2 weeks, Bari, let's shoot for attack on the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, we can talk all about it in the van tomorrow on the way to Terre Haute.
Damn right.
Yes. All right. Well, Bari, do you have anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, no, you said it all.
I feel like I hogged it. I need to leave more stuff for you to get out there.
It's all right. It's all good. Your voice sounds better than mine anyway.
Oh, stop. I hate the sound of my voice. I'm my own worst critic. All right. Well, until 2 weeks for Bari, this is Reb. Remind y'all, life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.